I get the Panthers at 16.
This is kind of tough the way the board fell for the Panthers. I'm not sure.
I would have loved, like, Brian Burns might be this best case scenario for them because they would love an edge. He's off the board. Jeffrey Simmons still sitting there at top of our board, but I'm considering some of the injury stuff and which team do I really want to take that risk with, even though he's at the top of our board. Offensive tackle, potentially a spot here for the Panthers. There's 3 guys to look at. Darrell Williams at right tackle is only locked up for 1 more year. There's still questions along that offensive line. I think that's where I'm going to go, Mike. I think that's the place to go.
O-line. So, yeah, Darrell Williams, 1 year, very big injury risk there. Taylor Mouton was very good at right tackle a season ago. I think they have planned to move him back to left if Williams is back in the fold and Khalil out now. So you can't have too much talent offensive line with Cam Newton, with the way he plays and with how injured he's been over the past handful of years. I think something to protect him. I would not argue with you if you did.
So here's where I might go away from our board and go to the guy that has a little bit more positional versatility, I think, in Dalton Risner from Kansas State. Our board's telling me Andre Dillard from Washington State. He's a tackle only. Risner, I think, can play anywhere along the offensive line. It gives me some flexibility. If I bring Moton and Darrell Williams back, I can move Risner to one of the interior positions. I'm going Dalton Risner. He was a right tackle at Kansas State. Incredible career there in the Big 12. But he's given me a little bit more positional versatility, so I'm taking Dalton Risner from K-State at 16 to the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. Our projections, the analytics love him in terms of how he projects to the next level. I'm not sure he's necessarily the best tackle prospect in terms of that, but I think he's going to be a very good guard, a very good center if that's where you want to play him. I think he could be a good tackle as well. The Panthers are, and like what we just sort of mentioned, the Panthers, they need some offensive line help with how good McCaffrey and that Newton combo is running the football. It's one of those teams where I think having a strong offensive line can take your running game to the next level, can take you to this dominant run game if you have a dominant offensive line with that option stuff that they do run.
All right. So you're up again.
Up with the Giants again, and here's where I'm building for the future. I'm willing to take a shot on Jeffrey Simmons with that injury because...
Wow, there it is.
Like I said, you're not building for this year if you're the New York Giants. He is a top 10 player when on the field. He tore an ACL early this offseason. Could still be back for 2019. I don't even think you need him to be back for 2019. If you're the Giants, you can say, hey, take a whole year, get that knee right, and then come back to us in 2020 when we're back ready to compete. When we're back on the upswing of a rebuild, and then you get 2 blue chip players in Juwan Taylor and Jeffrey Simmons along the line of scrimmage, where Dave Gettleman loves to get his guys.
Simmons to the Giants. It's not bad. I mean, if you are going to sacrifice a quarterback, getting Juwan Taylor at tackle and Jeffrey Simmons at interior D-line, not the worst place in the world to go. All right, you're on the clock again. Sorry. So now
I am back on the clock.
You got even. So you're looking at the Vikings. I'm looking at the Titans at 19.
I go O-line and I go best O-line available. Again, they can draft tackle here and move Riley Reiff to guard. You have flexibility with some of those guys. I'm going to draft Andre Dillard. I'm going to throw him at left tackle. I'm going to put Riley Reiff at left guard, and I'm going to pray that Andre Dillard can come in and be a plus pass protector.
Have to take a shot at O-line.
He's the most accomplished pass protector in this class in terms of he was taking 600-plus pass sets for the last 3 years at Washington State at tackle position. So
it performed really well.
Highest pass blocking grade in the nation this past season. Tested out through the roof, freakish testing numbers, has all the traits you want from a tackle. So from that perspective, I feel very confident in his projection from tackle from college to the NFL. I went Juwan Taylor earlier because I think Juwan Taylor, he's on the right side already. Giants, you need a right tackle. That pushes him up a little in my board just because I don't want to be switching sides with guys. Dillard, though, been at left tackle, done it. Makes sense for the Vikings.
I like it. We'll recap in a minute here, but number 19, the Tennessee Titans are now on the clock. A couple different ways I can go here, but I'm loving the way the wide receiver board's falling. I think the Titans are in position to just add playmakers, give Hall of Famer Corey Davis some help.
Yes.
That's what he needs. So we're going to go A.J. Brown from Ole Miss. The next 2 receivers on our board are A.J. Brown and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I don't like Arcega-Whiteside paired with Marcus Mariota as a contested catch guy. I need a guy that can get open a little bit better than that. That's A.J. Brown. He can win from the slot. He can win from the outside. We are loading up on playmakers in Tennessee. So A.J. Brown, Ole Miss, wide receiver now off the board to the Titans at 19.
A.J. Brown took over for DK Metcalf when he got hurt in that outside receiver role and averaged 128 yards a game in that role. He's not a slot only. Freak athlete in his own right, 4'4", 940, 6'8", 9'3" cone at 226 pounds. Over the yards he put up in the SEC, there's not a lot of guys do that. It's a tough conference to pass the football in with all the athletes that get drafted defensively, as we've already seen here. And he did it. Only a junior, already just still young. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to like A.J. Brown as a first rounder.
So I like that fit there for the Tennessee Titans. So now we're at 20.
20 with the Steelers. And the way this has set up, I think there's one pick that makes a ton of sense for the Steelers.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Devin Bush, linebacker out of Michigan, perfect fit for them defensively. They've been missing dearly athleticism in the middle of that defense ever since Ryan Shazier had his injury. Devin Bush is that level of an athlete, and I think can add some from a blitzing perspective too that they could also use in that defense and will use in that defense. So Devin Bush is the pick.
Look, they needed the speed. They've been trying to shore up the back. I mean, the whole defense in Pittsburgh has felt like they're good enough to beat up bad quarterbacks, but anytime they run into a half-decent passing attack, they're in trouble. So that's whether they need to upgrade at edge or at corner or speed in the back seven at linebacker. They have to take those opportunities. Devin Bush, I like the fit there quite a bit.